Hello, IK here. Welcome to Authentication and Authorization. Authentication and Authorization. Here it is. What is it? Login. This is authorization and authentication. Authentication. Login. Bean. Monkey. Bean.com. Password bean. Login. Welcome to dashboard. Here is in address. You see it is opened component, would be open component dashboard. And on that dashboard can be all what admin need, links to other components, etc. Now I log out. You see here, welcome Mr. Bean, log out. And now again log in, but now log in Ben. Ben.com, Ben password, log in. Welcome to the customer. You're logged in. Welcome Ben. Here is open in URL. In address you see customer. Component customer is visible in this part. What is authentication? Authentication is authentication is we as some subject must be authenticated. It means here it is by email and password. Authenticated. Yes, it is banned. Yes, it is. But where, which component, to which component bean has access? It is authorization. Authentication and authorization. Authentication, okay, welcome Ben, but where that Ben has access, we must be authorized. And authorization, here we have two authorization, customer and admin. And after authentication, we know who is it. And in table user, we see role of it, of that man role. Role can be admin in this situation, admin or customer. And again, we send password, email and password. And it is two data by password, by e-commerce email and password. Our program application find us in database, and in database take all data from database, our name, etc., and also role. What is our role? One role can be customer. One role can be in here in this situation. One role can be admin. Now here is a logged customer. Access Mr. Ben. Welcome Ben. Ben have access to customer, and component customer is opened, and we see that in in the user interface. But now, if we want manually access dashboard unauthorized, you don't have permission to access this page. It is question of role. Customer, there is no permission to access dashboard, and the contrary. Here is a database and the users table. Here is users table. Look at here Ben. Ben, here is a password hashed. Hashed password means encryption in one way, in one direction, not back, in one direction. And here it is, hashed. Our password is hashed. And here it is. Here it is. Users. Here it is. Users. Down. Bean is admin. Ben is customer. It is role. Look at here, role. And when we authenticated, it is our credentials, what we send, email and password, and our software by that data find us in database and see our role. Our role is admin or customer, and give us access to concretely dashboard or the customer. That giving access, it is authorization, but verify us who we are. It is our email and password. And after that, if we exist, our email and password exist in one row, exists the user, and the application program takes all data from the table and see our row. Here is a file organization in folder components, and folder components is same level as features. As features here, in folder components, I put all about login, all about authentication and authorization in component. And you see, there is a lot of items here. There is a lot of files. Because of that, I spoke about this topic in more part. This would be part one, authentication and authorization, part one. This is all about authorization, authentication. And here is in features, we have a table, we have a folder users. And that authentication and authorization, there is connection with the database, with the table, with table users. Let's get a login. Click login. Open form. Open component login. A component is opened in part of outlet. In part of outlet of configuration of component in app.js. And now email ben.com and password ben. It is authentication data, credentials of us that we are, it is our authentication. And when I put in a login, what happened? Happened that credentials, email and password would be dispatched to login user. Tank to login user tank. Login user tank will contact database, contact backend Express application backend, and that also login user contact in backend, and backend login user will contact a database, and by query, SQL query, find, get users from that database and return that user from database in results object, from database coming in backend in Express, Express in response, send it back in login, and the login, if it is all okay, login have name and can said have what need, have feedback that user exists, and that login will see, okay, it is admin, and navigate to component dashboard, or if it is a role customer, our login component navigate to customer component. It is the simplest possible authentication and authorization, where we have only one only one security item that we said like that. It is this password, hashed password. What I typed ben, it is hashed here, and because from that hashed application cannot dehashed. It is only one direction. What application will do, it is that ben hashed and hashed compare with this hashed. It is only encryption what save us from bad attack. It is today simplest possible solution for your application. If your application is something very simple and security not important, it is excellent for your security of your application. It is the simplest level. It is, I repeat, we write email and type email and the password. It goes to, it would be dispatched from that first component where we type it, would be dispatched to tank function. Tank function would be dispatched it to backend Express application. Express would be by SQL query ask, control, find or not find users in table users. If users exist, and yes, of course, that process must be, that ben must be hashed and the hashed result of ban would be compared with this password here. And if it is okay, we have a user, and that user with the name and the role, but in this situation we need only role. That user would be sent in object result from a database to send to Express. Express would be response it to tank, and the tank would be dispatch that state would be dispatched to Redux, and in Redux we have a login new state with the name and the role of, of users we have in login in Redux. And the welcome component, welcome message component, to show in header welcome ban or welcome bean, is by a use selector connected to Redux. And when name exists in Redux, welcome message, in welcome message we will see welcome ban, welcome bean immediately. But login, what dispatch, from what start all this process, will have a response about role and have logic. If role is admin, go to dashboard. If login, if response is, if role of user is customer, go to go to go to customer component. Now is very interesting this that when we log in, it is the simplest level, but it is not here in this application. In this application is very complicated what we see in continuous. And about authentication and authorization, there is a lot of possibility, and I think that I must create a lot of video about that, and in final one separate book for that topic about authentication and authorization. Okay, now when I log in ban, welcome to the customer, in address is customer, but when I try manually type, here is a customer, when I type dashboard, here is unauthorized. We, thanks to that safe, we thanks to this to private root, we will see all code in detail. Because of that there is a lot of part, but now it is like panoramic seeing, panoramic view on problem, and after that in more and more in detail. Private root component is here in index.js, index.js, here it is. Look at private root. Import private root, and here in root, when root path, root customer, there is an element private root is around around component customer. All this private root is a React component, React element here. Here is a props required role customer, and only that role customer, here it is, role customer, can access component customer. Also, here, admin dashboard address, element private root, require role admin. Only require role admin can take dashboard. And if we have more component, every component must be saved, secure by this private root and this props. And that private root don't permit that not our authorized user go in wrong direction, in wrong component, have access to wrong component. Of course, here we are in public. We have a public e-retail public, and in that application, it is a public application of e-commerce. We can have like a user, like buyers. We have our private site, private pages, and we can, by login, go to our private pages and look at our orders and etc., all our private data. But all others, public pages in e-commerce, we can go like any others, login or not login. Okay. All begin from login.js. We have a form. Button type is submit. It means that it is a form event submit. And that event form submit call function. Okay, it is input password, and here is input email, and here is a form. On submit, event call function handle login. And that handle login, we know, would dispatch credentials, email and password, dispatch to tank function. Okay, let's see that. Handle login, here it is, and here it is dispatch. In variable response with coming result of right side. We await that result, and the dispatch function, dispatch login user, dispatch tank function login user, and that tank function will dispatch two type of action, and we can set that this one dispatch action creator login user, and that action creator login user, that tank, take here two parameter, email and password. It is what we type. Okay, now, but when all is okay and the response coming back, before we go to tank function and further to Express and database, look at here, when response, what now we have in this response? Before I spoke, we can have in this response only username, user role, all about user, what we have in database. But here in this situation, we have in that response tank. We have tank, and we must decode it. In that response, there is a tank, you see, and we must decode. It is coded. Tank, it is coded, and all about user is inside of that tank, and not only user, also secret key, and together secret key and user is coded together in one token, and that token coming here, if all is okay, in response, in this variable decoded token, we decode it. Decoded is JSON parse method atom function for decoded, and that decoding would be in array. Username would be user role, etc. in array. In array, and one array would be about security, but security key, and would be security key, and okay, in detail about that in continuous part. Now we have we declare it is decoded token. The decoded token have a role. There is a role properties, that object carry role properties, there is a role, and we have now role, variable role, and now logic if role equal admin, redirected to dashboard, else if role equal customer, redirected in customer, that logic, and it is finished of this page. In more detail about this page in the next, but now it is important that in response to our start component login, we received token. We received token, and now we can continue from first page login. We can continue. Let's get continue to login user tank, coming with the email and password login user. Let's get see it is in slice component, login slice. Here it is login slice. Go top, login user, here it is. Create function, create asynchron tank, login user call, every tank call create asynchron tank, and it will be type of action, out login, and here is credentials, it is password and email in that variable, asynchron function with the two parameters. This is reject white value. It is added like more detail about error, if error would be exist. Here in curly brackets we have response, and we dispatch here Axios post. Look at, we need get, but we find post method. We request post, but we don't request get, because we need user from database to see and that user to send, we need get. Post is when we add, but we now not add. That user exists. And what is it post? We post, but it is not add. It must be get. Okay, post and get is first request, and we can live excellent with only that two requests without put and delete. Because SQL is important. What we look at now, no, pardon, we are now in login slice. Okay, it is now there is no SQL. SQL is in Express. Okay, now look at we post, send request with post. Post and get is difference that post go through, don't go by address. Data don't go by address and not visible. Data, our password and credential it would not be visible. Here is a password. We send. Post is a sending request. It's sending to very important data, our email and the password, send to backend, and cannot go by URL, by web address to be visible, and must go like post, with post method. A get method, what we request by get method, that data go to web address, in web address, and is visible, public visible. And here it is because of that here post, but when it arrived in backend in Express, even it is post, it is only transfer credentials, our password and user, transfer from front end, it is slice Redux, front end React Redux to backend Express. And the backend Express will by SQL communicate, but that SQL will not be select, but would be select, don't be post, but select like forget, select that concretely user. Okay, post and get also we can use post or get for it is only difference, but put and delete we can use with get or with post only, and we don't need put and delete, but we use it, we need it because of restful rules and the separation and principle separation by concerns, that every functionality there is a difference in coding, post, get, put, and delete, and we must not save our coding or our keyword in coding language. Don't save because of a principle solid separation of concern. Every functionality there is own keyword, own method. But here we must even though we want get, we use post, and I explain it. It is a little confused, can be for beginners, but now you know. It is only transfer, post transfer, not by visibility in address bar. It would be not visible and go to backend. And now we can go to backend. But I can see this here. It is if all is okay in response. In response, uh, in response here, I only see, look at now, we decoded here, we decoded here, and we decoded in login. If we decode it here, uh, here is here is okay. About that in next continuous, I must prepare better. Now I want that you see panoramic be before we go in details. But what confused this moment? We look at in what is here tank. We look at in tank function, and that tank function must contact backend Express, give credentials, backend, and about response, we must await this what happened in backend. And now we can go to backend. We can go to backend. It is login user. Here it is post and user login. It is address for this part here, for this root, and request, response, etc. But look at select. Query is select. It is like get. It corresponds with get, not with post, because post corresponds with insert into, adding record in table. But select is we want complete data of user, and that SQL select from user where email equal question mark and here is okay, select from email password request body in the after with email, when by email I will go in detail, but by email find, does it exist? Okay, it exists, and password must go here. Password, it is banned here, must be compare with existing. How? That ban would be hashed, and that hashed ban would be compare with the hashed password. Okay, in detail in the next continuous, but also you can download and look at code by yourself. And this password is a final authentication process, and with the authentication, here is all about authentication. We call generate token. Here it is. And token would be generate here, this function generate token. What that function generate token work, look at, there is some secret key, what calling that constant and calling this secret key. That secret key concretely is here in env file. Here is a secret key. What I type any in blah blah blah, what you want, or generate secret key in some generator of for secret for encryption. That secret key, it is here. That secret key, secret key, and look at sign. It is final process to generate token, signing. Signing secret key, user ID, user ID is user ID, email of user, and role. Okay, you see. Email, user email, all data from table, what we have in table, take here, and sign token was finished with this inside the token. We have one token, and inside of that we have security key, all about user, and expires in, here it is, 1 hour. We created that token, and that token we in response, this token in response, at first in a result we have from database user, that user go encrypted in token, and token would be in response. Here it is, response status, all is okay. No, error, server error, but we need 200. Console error. Here is here it is response. Okay, it is not here, but it must be respond token. Here it is, respond token. Respond token, respond message, and token. What I look at down, there is nothing down. It is only catch error. But here is generated token, and all others is up. And here is in response from backend. Here is what we look now. It is backend Express. In response object, JSON method. In JSON method means that it would be formatted in object like this, JSON format, with the message and the token, two parts. And that token, when arrived, we see we must decode it in front end. But also I must go to see slice again. Slice. Slice, because from backend it go to the tank function, and look at here, in slice, in logging slice, we have the validation of token, decoded token, because from tank, I'm not confused, because why we decode it here? Because we need a name, a login in store, a login reducer state login. Look at now. I need a name, role, not token, and we must take from this token data what need Redux, and of course that we don't use in a login. We use Redux, we use and use selector, we use in welcome message. But in login, we use what responds we use token and decode it again. We received a token and token decoded again. It means that this decoding, now I look at why this decoding in for Redux, why didn't we in login take user selector also and use from Redux name, rule, etc. But not from again decoded. Okay, here we decode it, and we need that data for we need that decoded the data. We need for look at what is initial state user token error. Here it is, user get out. That user get out from token. And here it is, return name, decoded name, email, decoded email, role. We must take all that and create and use like user. Here it is, user token error. It is Redux. It is properties in Redux state. And down, in detail we will see later, but now fulfilled here, fulfilled. Here, for user, we call extract user from token, and it would be payload, action payload token, extract user from token, and here it is add case how we state token directly equal action payload token, state error, and state user. State user must go over extra user from token, extract user from token. Here in slice, now I remember, we need that process extract user from token because there is a token in local storage. There is a token in local storage. And when I now look at here, when I log out, that token get out. But when I refresh, for example, now it is customer. what happened now? Okay, log out, log in. Password. Welcome to customer. Now, what happened also with creation of tank is saved in local storage. In local storage. Now, when I create refresh, now I must look at in. Oh yes. Oh, I by fault turn off public retail public and not start it. npm start, and after repeating load here. Okay, now loading. It is. I like to see in Chrome. Log out, login. Ben com Ben login. Welcome to customer. Now, if I refresh, here it is. Nothing happened. After refresh, we have we are logging again. It thanks it we can thank it to local storage, and the token is saved in local storage. Here is local storage, you see, and in local storage you see token. When I log out, token would be get out. But if I rest computer, turn off computers and again switch on, a token will be here, and I would be login, and that token is saved here. But after refresh, we have initial value for our component, initial value in Redux, and but we need be logging, and because of that, local login slice, that process must be again takes from token in local storage, must be refreshed, updated data in Redux. And because of that, we have that validation in slice. It is validation and decoded token from the storage, fill it in Redux, and welcome Ben, and all others is like we login. We are logging. All that details about programming, about code in a next continues in the next video. For this video, it is enough, and it is a good knowledge, a good base for understand authentication, out in authentication and authorization. Authentication is for us like a live person what want to go in my personal data, but authorization is depend about role, and about that depend which pages I can access. Authentication, okay, you are exist, but What is your role? It is authorization. Um, you see here, we have React, Redux, front end, we have Express backend, uh, and we have MySQL, MySQL database. And interesting story about post and get. Uh, and all interesting about token. In backend, we created token, and token go with user data. We don't receive user directly, but user data in token, and that token go to to Redux, to that token go to slice to reducer to front end, and must be decoded for take names and role, etc. about user, and that data about user go in store in Redux, in reducer. And welcome message take by use selector, take it from Redux. Login, receive token, decoded it, and about role, navigate to concretely permitted pages. Okay, I didn't. I want to repeat and repeat. I want to be slow in speaking because um, I spoke about some that phenomenon in different phenomenon in programming for total beginners, and it is one thing. Second thing is we must respond. We must go slow because we are beginner, and it is knowledge. It is real knowledge. It is a root for all up what you build, what you understand. Of course, from series of uh, my video about authentication and authorization, that area you will know, you will learn, and you will know if you are enough slowly, enough patient. You will know a route for authentication and authorization, and all others you can learn by yourself, by artificial intelligence, ask about, discuss about that problems, and okay, by artificial intelligence. You have from me that tools, it is application, e-commerce, and uh, you can work, experiment, and exercise on that application. In my video, others you must know, understand what is coded, experiment coded, and after that you can ask artificial intelligence because you know terminology, you know, you understand the basic, and you ask what else there is exist in that table about authentication and authorization. You can ask that artificial intelligence. It is not contrary when I said don't touch, don't ask nothing, communicate with artificial intelligence. Yes, it is a very important rule when are you beginner in some topic. Total beginner don't have, cannot use artificial intelligence because don't know, make question. What can question when and for total beginner, the best tools for learning is patient. And by my generation, it would be book. And I say, and I think today also is book, because book is patient. and coding. Why you now, when artificial can code all for you, when you must coding, because you have a code in my application is all coded and I explain that code. And you can copy paste that code. You have code in Git repository, and you understand code and you take it code. Why I say that you type code? That, and why it is very important? Because of slowness of learning. Understand code and go ahead. Understand, go ahead, not type, is fast forward. Fast forward, and then nothing rests in the head. But if you code with your fingers, you code in your fingers, but you must fast code. You must be experienced in typing. You must type with the 10 fingers, not by two like me. And it means typing, but typing is slowly process. And also, when you close the eye and want to type without look at in my code, rather, you will see that you don't know nothing. You don't type any letters. You understand, but you don't type any letters. You can make one step ahead if you don't look at code. And it is process of slowness, patient slowness, typing. It means that process must be as longer as possible. As this is directly proportional to future, your future uh, emotion about programming, emotion about programming. And one of the most important emotion is that that you are confident, and not afraid, not scarce about market, about job, about your position in process. It can be possible only with slowness, patient and slowness, but that you cannot sit down and look at 100 times in my explanation, 100 times in same code. It is very boring. You type and experience typing. We need always typing. Even though we can now can speak and computer typing, but the keyboard is one tool, and that tool would be important. It is income unit to computer, and it is always would be a possibility that we something enter in our computer. Okay, I think that I said what I want in this video, and I hope that you have panoramic image of what here what happen what we must code it for authentication, authentication, and authorization. Okay, thank you for watching this video.